All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Adams Brothers Podcast, the hottest podcast here in the Tri County area of Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. Happy hump day to each and every last one of you out there in Facebook land and YouTube land. Thank you for joining us this evening here on this beautiful sunny South Florida day. We are joined here this evening with Miss Elizabeth Phillips. She is the co-owner of PF Insurance and Push Forward Realty. We'd like to welcome Miss Elizabeth Phillips to the Adams
Hi.
Brothers Podcast. Good afternoon or good evening, whichever one
Yes,
it
good
is.
evening.
Hey, everyone.
So, I know if you're watching out there in Facebook land and YouTube land, we're supposed to be on here at 6, but you know, we don't ever start things on time. We're on black folk time around here. So, anyways, but we're here. So we have, like I said, we're here with Elizabeth Phillips. She is based right out of Pompano Beach, Florida, and she is the co-owner of PF Insurance and Push Forward Realty. So, Miss Phillips, tell us a little bit about you and where you grew up and whatever you want to share with us here.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Elizabeth Phillips. I am a legacy kid, the co-owner of PF Insurance and Push for Realty, based in sunny Florida, where we give you the warmest welcome. We started the business in 1993 with PF Insurance, and my mother is started her business around the early 2000s, Push for Realty, and now I am the co-owner of both. So we've been around for 30 plus years. We do auto, home, commercial liability, and we just opened up to start doing life health annuities. And I'm going to be doing real estate as well with my mother starting, I'll say like next month sometime. So I'm pretty excited to do that. We do have a plethora of other things that we are open to. My uncle does also work in the office with us. He does a lot of, you could say, social work as well. We do have a resource center called Small Biz CEDC, Community and Economic Development. So if people are looking for jobs, they can come look for a job. If they want to do if they want to start their own business, they can start their own business. If they want to do 501c3s, 401c3s, they can do that as well. We do re- community outreach. We do turkey giveaways, things of that nature. I'm also a licensed notary, and I do clerical services. So if anybody needs anything faxed, typed up, scanned, emailed, we are the people you can come to, and we are located at 164 North Powerline Road on the corner of Atlantic and Powerline, right on the corner where Save a Lot used to be, where the Elegant Beauty Supply store is in that plaza.
Okay. Well, you're pretty much a jack of all trades. You got a lot of things behind you that you do.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I'm a master of all trades and a jack of none.
Okay, master of all trades. I stand corrected. Yeah, master of all trades.
that's what they say.
You listed a lot of things right there. And one thing that stuck out in my mind was jobs. You said you help people find jobs as well. And that
Yes.
the first question that popped in my mind is, do you help felons, convicted felons, find jobs as well? Because you know it's kind of hard for them to find jobs, being that
Mhm.
they have a arrest record in the past. But is it do you help felons, convicted felons, somehow find a job?
Well, we do our best. So whatever way we can help them, if they come in, they go in the bag. We look for jobs. There's usually a list that we can pull up where if you are a felon, that you can apply for the job and most likely you'll get the job.
Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
What made you get into the insurance industry? What was your motivation and drive to get into that industry there?
Okay,
Which you hear a
that's
lot of negative things about
Mm.
in the state of Florida in the last, I would say, 15, 20 years.
and I completely understand that. So, as I stated before, my father started the business in 1993. I am the only child, and following in my father and mother's footsteps, I started working at PF Insurance. In middle school, like answering the phones,
Mm-hmm.
doing scanning, putting labels on things, and then as I matriculated through my career, I said, one day my dad told me, he said, "This is the only job that you'll get when you don't have to apply for it and you don't have to, give a resume." And I went through, different careers, but I always ended back up doing something clerical, administrative, something of that nature. So I ended up getting my 220 license, which is general line,
Hmm.
allowing me to serve products like like auto, home, and commercial. And last year, I decided to expand my portfolio and start life, health, and annuities. But auto, home, and commercial is something that I truly enjoy doing. It's my niche. I really enjoy doing home. And the reason I enjoy doing home is because often you see a lot of people, the rates have went up. They've gone
Hmm.
up tremendously. But I've had some of my clients come and they're paying something crazy, and they weren't aware that there are so many discounts that were available to them. So when I do the policy, or I take over their policy, or I start a new policy, I help them get it as low as they can with a lot of times the same coverage that they had from another company. So it brings me joy because everybody likes to save money. Everybody likes discounts. And all the money that you save can be allocated toward going on a trip or putting, lunch or extra gas. And a lot of people give me their nice tips. They sing my praises. They're so happy. I had one lady, she broke down and started crying. She was in tears. She was like, my mortgage is so high. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. And I was like, oh my God, this is why I do this. Like, so it really
Hmm.
brought me joy. And at one point, as a kid whose parents owned a business, you almost feel like you're being babysitted, like, oh man, I gotta come here, this, that, and the third. And then I started to find joy in what I did. And I feel like the better you get at your job or your career, the more
Hmm.
you enjoy meeting the people. We have a lot of families that tell their other family members that tell their friends, so we get a lot of word of mouth clients. I'm working on a new website, so we can have some new things, and it's also going to include some of the nonprofits that we're affiliated with.
Hmm.
Of um, I'm a part of the Pompano Beach Women's Club. I'm the second
Hmm.
vice president, and we've been around for 115 years. So with that, that's a group of diverse women. It's a sisterhood. There, men are also included, but it's a
Hmm.
diverse sisterhood of women who create unity through service, and charity. So we have a lot of upcoming events that we're excited to draw some new members, young, old, white, black, Spanish, Chinese. Sorry, I have a 2-year-old. You name it.
That's all right.
Yeah, you name it. We're here to help. I'm also involved in the Tiger Trail Festival, where I've worn
Hmm.
many hats. I'm the new president and actually the co-president. My father's the president. I, along with Kimberly, she is the co-chair with me, and we're looking
Hmm.
forward to 2026
Hmm.
Black History Month.
Hmm.
We've been doing this. This is our 30th anniversary. We have a gala where we're going to be extending invitations to nonprofits and awarding them for their service in the community. That's a really popular one. It's really exciting to be able to award those who passionately serve their community and give back to the community. Then we have a street festival. That's always a big hit. It is free. The entry is free. We
Hmm.
have a kids corner, so everybody could bring their lawn chairs, bring their children, bounce house, face painting. We have a load of dynamic food, food carts, storehouses, people who sell, you name it, will have it out there. I also am a vendor at the Tiger Trail, and I really enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
And then we have an upcoming play, and we have the extraordinary people doing extraordinary things. So that's people who raised the family in Pompano and who have stayed in Pompano. And we honor the people who are like 65, 70, and up. We have their pictures. We give you a brief history of them because it is extraordinary raising a family. A lot of times, it takes heart and it takes love to keep your family together. Even if it's a blended family, you got stepkids. It took a lot of time, especially growing up in I say my parents' generation where people used to pick beans and all that stuff. It was a
Hmm.
different time. We also have the Kai City Trailblazers. That's another thing for the people from Collier City area. they promote people who maybe had their own business, who fought hard to have good changes happen in that area. So that's going to be February 2026, and you can go to www.tigertrailfestival.org for that.
You you said a lot just there, so I'm gonna digest all of that. But I wanted to have a follow up question as far as with the insurance industry. How hard has it been for a black owned family business to sustain in the insurance industry, because the insurance industry, I was reading, earned
Crazy.
$1.7 trillion, and I would hope that a lot of those economic dollars, being that you're a black business, are trickling down to your business.
It is a good profession to get into. And I'm just gonna say it's a good profession because you have to have insurance. If you're buying a new home, you have to have insurance to cover that home. If you're getting a car off the lot, you have to have insurance before you drive off the lot. If you own a business, especially if you're a vendor, you have to have insurance to work with the city, any city,
Mm-hmm.
general liability, most times of $1 million. And just to put it out there for the public, $1 million can sound like a scary figure, but it's not often that when you're making a payment for your general liability insurance. And when it comes to the rates, even I'll say like with my dad, I remember, when it wasn't COVID, it was when it was a little rough in the area. A lot of businesses were shutting down,
Mm-hmm.
so we went out. We knocked on doors. I knocked on doors with him. We let them know that we did insurance in the area, and we got a lot of clients that way. I guess they saw the devotion to what we were doing to keeping our business and maintaining our business, because we serve a lot of people in the community. Um, the rates are high. Well, I'm not for everybody. It all depends. The rates can be
Right.
high, but with our business, we do our best to try to help you because we would want to be helped in a situation. We don't
Mm-hmm.
want anybody to come and say, okay, well, I can get you this and this is that and the third. We're going to be honest with you. Hey, this is what you can do. And this might not work for you. This might work for you. This is how we can, help you out in this way. This is what discount credits that you could possibly gain. You might need to fix your roof. Might need to get some shutters with the car. If maybe this is what you can afford, maybe this is what you can't afford, but we'll figure out our best way to help you in any type of way we can. And if we can't, we're completely honest. Hey, well, it looks like this might be a little higher. If you need to go elsewhere, but we're always here when if it gets higher elsewhere, we're always here. So with the insurance industry, it does trickle down. There are we do know a few other people, black owned businesses that are in the
Mm-hmm.
insurance industry,
Mm-hmm.
and it helps a lot when you have the experience. Like I said, I've been working in and out of the office since middle school, and I've been there consistently for a long time with my license, with my father, who has had many years of experience in this
Mm-hmm.
field.
Right.
So it's just all boils down to, are you hungry? Are you satisfied? Who can you serve? Who needs your help? And a lot of times when you do a good job and you show that you care, you're honest, you're devoted to what you do, and you're passionate about it, you'll get repeat business. Hey, my friend told me to come see you, or my grandma told me to come see you, or, I go to this church and the church told me to come see you, So we do a lot of business with churches, we do a lot of contractors, and of course we do a lot of home and auto.
And that's what I wanted to as you're touching on uh, about the churches and a lot of other people, because it's hard for black people to support a lot of other black businesses. And how hard was it for you to gain the trust for those, to do business with them? Because a lot of people will see a black business and you're doing just the same as the white owned business over there, but they will go to the white owned business for some unknown reason not to support the black owned business.
And I'm going to tell you, that's a funny thing that you just said. So, when people go to, it could be a white owned business,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be, when the rates skyrocket over there or something happens, then they come to us. And
Mhm.
it's a very funny thing that when the property was brand new, you wanted to go to, the
The
white
ice
owned
was colder
business.
over there.
Hello, you want to go to white owned business, but now it's looking rough and you're looking for help. So now you come to the black owned business. And a lot of times my dad would say, you know what? If they were over there, well, what happened? It had to be something that happened. And then we might find out, hey, that roof might not be as good, or there are different
Mhm.
things that might have happened that have caused them to look for help. And when they come looking for help, that's when they come to us. Oh, well, I heard you can help me. I heard you can help me. And we'd be like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
We happy to help you. But
Right.
at the,
Right.
but at the same time, you could have been with us since the beginning and we would have treated you right. So when it
Right.
comes black owned business, I think
Mhm.
the main thing is professionalism and being able to
Mhm.
give them the information that they need in a professional manner, but still be honest and relatable to them. Because at the end of the day, we're both people. We both
Mhm.
want to save money. We both want to hear an honest opinion. We both want to be educated on what the other person is offering. And we're going to tell you, hey, listen, we'll be able to help you, but you're going to have to get this inspection first. Or we're going to be able to help you, but you have to be honest about what's going on with the situation, you know?
What?
And a lot of times that's what builds the rapport back and forth. And we get a lot of
Yeah.
repeat business that way because we are here to help. We're
Right.
honestly and passionate about what we do because we also are affiliated with if, as you can hear, a bunch of nonprofit organizations. So
Yeah.
that's what we do at PF Insurance. We push forward for you.
All right. And now, what about claims? If they happen to have to file a claim, do they file that with you, or are you like the underwriter, or
No,
how
underwriting
does
is
it?
different. So who we are the agency.
Okay.
The agency, there's a difference between a captive agent and an independent agent. A captive agent will be a company like Geico, who only
Mhm.
services Geico policies, or Allstate, who only has Allstate. Because we're an independent agency, we can look for companies through, Universal Property and Casualty, Tower Hill, um, Citizens, Bass Underwriters. We have offer a plethora of different avenues or different vehicles that will be able to help you find a different quote that's the right fit for your needs.
Sell flood insurance too.
Of course,
Okay.
I enjoy. I just did
Ah.
a flood insurance policy today from a
Yeah.
young lady who's not in the flood zone, but because of the
That's
heavy
me.
rains, yeah, because of the heavy rains, she was like, I need it bad. She said, you know what? I wanted the homeowners, but right now I'm just gonna go ahead and get that flood insurance just to make sure that I'm covered in case something happens. So I just
Uh,
wrote her today.
what about the for the unfortunate people out there whose homes or apartment was broken into? Do you sell renters insurance as well?
Of course, and
Yeah.
just to let everyone know, renter's insurance is usually very inexpensive. We can do that very quickly. It's minimal underwriting, and we can
Mhm.
get you in and out. I say, in about 10 or 15 minutes, you can have coverage.
Um, if it now that's just if you're renting an apartment or you're renting from someone, you can't be a homeowner and have rental insurance, correct?
No, if you're a homeowner, you have to have homeowners insurance. There are
Right.
various insurance coverages you can get, which are
Right.
HO3. HO3 is the best one because it's more comprehensive. It covers if you have a mold, if you have a leak, your roof, and your personal property. If there's a loss of use and you can't live there and you have to go to a hotel or you have to stay somewhere else, they reimburse you a portion of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then you have an HO8. That's if you have an older home and your roof not might not be as well, you would still be able to get coverage. Then you have coverage for if you can't have the HO3, you can get a wind only policy, which covers your roof to wall situation, um, roof, wind, and hail, or you can get a fire and hazard policy to where if it burns up or if somebody slips and falls and tries to sue you, that you would be
Mhm.
covered as well. Um, then there are a couple other policies if you just need a general liability because you feel like your home is covered, but you do want to be, active just in case somebody slips and falls and tries to sue you. We cover that as well.
Yeah, because these homeowners insurance, these rates, I tell you, they are outrageous. You're talking about, I mean, every year they're going up $600-700. And I remember when I first bought my homeowners insurance was like $450 for
Right.
the whole year.
For the whole year.
Now they want, I mean, for my home, they want like just under $6,000 a year.
Yeah. That's almost normal. We see anywhere between, if it's a condo, they get different rates. Condos get really good rates, but if you have a home, 3.2, 5.2, we've seen anywhere between 3 on the good side, maybe 11 when it's climbing up there. Oh, but I want to share some discount credits that you might possibly be able
Okay.
to receive that
Yeah.
you may not know about.
By all means.
So, it's called opening protection. So if you have hurricane impact windows, shutters, you need to have
You froze up, Miss Phillips.
She'll probably come back. All right. Well, if you're just joining us, we are live here with Elizabeth Phillips. Look like she's having a little connection problem right there. Hopefully, she'll bounce back in here in a second. Elizabeth Phillips is the daughter of Ed Phillips from Pompano Beach, Florida. Everybody knows Ed Phillips. He's a former Pompano Beach city commissioner down there. I believe he was in the same seat as Mr. E. Pat Larkin. So he held that same seat, and this is his daughter, Elizabeth Phillips. So for newbie news, I know you wanted to know. I'm sure she'll try and join us back here in a second. She had a little connection problem.
She'll be back.
She'll be back. She was giving us some really good news.
Yeah, she was getting ready to tell us about some savings that you could save. I know a new roof. I know she was getting ready to talk about impact windows. That is one way you can save. And if you have a new roof, if you just put a new roof on your house, that is another way to save some money on your homeowner's insurance. But definitely those impact windows are the way to go if you can afford it. I know they are very expensive right now. So
and that homeowners insurance is like I was saying, it's very expensive, man. And then again, when we bought our homes again, that was 30 years ago, but it was $400 for the whole year.
For the whole year.
And now they want to come on, they want to charge you $5,000-6,000. And then, they want to be able to drop you whenever you want, like Citizens did me, you have to send this letter back in ample time, blah, 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 or else we're going to just drop you. And I got the letter back in ample time and they still dropped me.
Yeah.
So Citizens Property Insurance, screw you. I'm glad you did drop me. I'll never, ever come back to you.
And I sent you an article too where the CEO, I believe, they gave him something like about a 40 or 50 million buyout or business. And that was the reason, that was his motivation. And they were dropping people without even really a warning. I didn't know they can do that, but I guess in the insurance industry here in Florida, you can practically do what you want to do. But like Daryl said, 30 years ago, almost 31 years ago, when we bought our house, the insurance I remember was like $400 or $500 for the year, and that was with Allstate. I'm still with Allstate. I've been with Allstate all 31 years. Fortunately, they didn't kick me out, and I've been with them. But even Allstate or Castle Key, I believe they are called too. They're parent company is called Castle Key, and I believe that, well, I know right now I'm paying almost close to $3,000, and that's just for homeowners. Never filed the claim. Just filed the claim as far as my roof last year, and that was through the wind insurance, and both of them are right now at about almost $3,000 a piece, not counting they threw a flood insurance policy. If you're with Citizens, you're forced now to get a flood insurance policy, whether you are in a flood zone or not, because people seem like they're confused about that, saying I'm not in a flood zone. Well, if you're with Citizens, and I know all of them going to start doing that in a while, if you're with Citizens, they are making you get a flood policy, even if you're not in the FEMA flood zone. And that was like me. And the first thing they did, and they just all of a sudden, like about 8 months notice, told me that I had to have a flood insurance. I mean, it was like 8 months. They told me by November. They hit me like around, it wasn't even 8 months, around June.
What was the total? Like $500-$600 for
no, $900.
$900. Just so there's $1,000
right up off the bat, and you have to pay that up front.
Yeah,
it's no payments, anything like that.
That's crazy.
And you had to have $900, or they were going to drop you come that November 1st.
Politicians, they're letting them get away with this. They won't regulate them or put their foot on their neck because they get free homeowners insurance. These companies say, hey, don't worry about it. You vote for it, or we'll donate to your campaign, and we'll give you and your family free insurance here. You know, it's look like, on the books, it look like they're paying, but they're not.
Right.
So they don't pay anything, but while we're paying.
Right. And as far as, like I say, you know, you never have filed the claim. In my 30 years here, I never had a claim, and they just kept going up. And sometimes you hear them say they go by your credit. Well, my credit wasn't always good, but it's been good the last it's been good over a period of time, 20 years. And you know, and the rates were still high. And it's like, you know, they tried everything. I had to end up suing them last year. I had to end up suing Citizens.
That's
last
crazy.
year.
You have to take them to court and all, and in order for them to pay you. You've been paying $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for 20, 30 years. And the moment you need them, they don't want to pay. They want to give you $3,000 or $4,000 to fix your roof. Get a whole new roof now. Yeah. What's $3,000 or $4,000? This is 1990 anymore, where you can get a roof for $4,000.
Yeah, $4 or $5. My roof cost me over $20,000.
$20,000 for a roof now.
Because I got over 2,000 square feet. I added. It used to be, it was like I could have got it for about $4, but when I added on to my house is about 2,300 square feet now, and that roof was well over $20,000 that I had to pay. And we were actually getting ready to go to trial Monday morning, and they called me. I was out of the country. They called me and they told me that they had came to a handshake agreement, but they try to get you to sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, where you can't disclose the terms and conditions of the lawsuit. So it's crazy out there in that insurance industry.
It's a scam.
And it is. I saw Newbie News said earlier that it is a scam. Yeah, it is. The way they are right now, the way they have things right now, it is. I mean, and you know, you can take that risk, because we are. If your house is paid off, you could take that risk. But I wouldn't take that risk. I know a lot of people told me that they put it in God's hands, and that's the right place to put it in. But
it is. But with these hurricanes out there, it's not a wise decision. You pay for a home for 30 years, 35 years, or whatever, and the moment you pay it off, and you can't afford the homeowner's insurance or the windstorm insurance anymore, you drop it, and then 2 years later, you get a Category 5 come through here and just wipe out everything. You better have the money in your bank account to go and rebuild your home.
Which most people are not going to have. The rebuild cost, the cost that it was when you first bought it, and the rebuild cost is going to be totally different
it's gonna
now.
Be about $300,000, $300,000.
I would say definitely to rebuild even a 1,500 square foot home would probably run you somewhere. I would say at least about $300,000, $250,000 to $300,000. So again, I know I talked to people and they told me, well, I paid my house off. I don't have to get insurance. I'm putting it in God's hands. Well, that's the right hand you put it in. But, I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't take that chance. It's too much to lose. I mean, it's certain things you can put on that policy. You could cut down on the contents. It's certain things you can do to get your rates at least affordable. We're in the middle of hurricane season 9. I know the West Coast has been getting all the storms. Now the West Coast and Central Florida, to where South Florida used to get all the brunt of the storms. Now it's been like the Tampa, St. Pete, that whole West Coast area in Central Florida has been taking the brunt of the hurricanes now. But I wouldn't take that chance. I would ask everybody out there to, go get that hurricane insurance, because it's not worth it. Once your home is destroyed, it's going to be too late. And remember, FEMA is not really there. Trump is trying to dismantle FEMA and put it in the hands of the state. And
you're getting up from DeSantis.
You're not going to get anything from here. So, I mean, the days of, at least back in the days doing Wilma, where they were giving out generators, they were giving out cards, gift cards, or whatever you want to call them, food cards. Just look, that stuff is not going to be out there. So if I was anyone that's watching, I wouldn't dare put my faith in the government right now. You see what's going on in Texas. Trump already said that he wants to take the insurance, FEMA and the insurance industry, and put it back in the hands of the state. And you're not going to get anything. Your house going to end up probably just sitting being vacant for years.
I heard somewhere on the news that the Biden administration tried to give Texas $10.2 million, I think it was, for flood to, for the system in the flood, a warning system or something like that. So, because I don't think that they had a warning system in place. So, and the governor turned the money down, is what I understand. Turned the money down because it was coming from the Biden administration. Now,
I know he did it with insurance.
That $10.2 million right now. They could definitely use that.
With healthcare, I remember when Rick Scott turned the healthcare when from the Obama care and all of that. Rick Scott wouldn't take the money for the healthcare. I mean, that money could have benefited seniors. That money could have benefited a lot of people that needed it. And I don't understand their notion. I mean, that's our money. Why would you not give it back to the people to use in the state of Florida? But that's what they do now. I mean, that is what they do. So are we still trying to get Elizabeth back on here? Yeah, if you were just
joining us, we were live with Elizabeth Phillips from Pompano Beach, Ed Phillips' daughter, and she was telling us all about her insurance and the real estate, and she lost the connection. And
so we're waiting
on her to call. Come back online. So
let me see if
I can place a call to her right quick. So go ahead and finish talking.
Yeah, she can call in if her computer is giving her trouble. But yeah, that insurance industry is it needs some serious reforms here in the state of Florida. Our politicians here on both sides of the aisle collectively needs to get together, and they need to come up with something. I mean, because if you look by 2027, if you with citizens or have a policy with citizens, everyone, whether you're in a flood zone or not, because I keep hearing people tell me, well, I'm not in a flood zone. I just say, okay, I don't even say nothing anymore, because I know clearly I read the policy, I read the law, and I think it's like by 2027, everyone with citizens insurance have to have flood insurance here with citizens. And I'm quite sure those other companies are going to follow suit and do the exact same thing. It's all about making money. So those companies are going to follow suit, and they're going to have everyone, because people are going to gravitate to the other companies thinking that they can save a little bit of money, but they're not. And like I say, the first year here 2 years ago, they hit me already 2 years ago, and it was like they just gave me only like about 4 months notice and told me that I had to have flood insurance, because they were, and I might be wrong, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, they were going by the value of my home. And my home at that time was valued, for the square footage of my house, it was valued at about $570. at that time. And that was like about 2 years ago. I know it has dropped down now, but it was going by the value. So the higher the value of your house was, the quicker you had to go by and get that flood insurance. And we haven't had a flood here in Deerfield Beach from my grandmother's my grandmother when she was alive since 1928. And everybody have heard about the 28th storm where Lake Okeechobee spilled over in 1928. We haven't had a storm here since then. And then even on our road over here, I mean, we got areas here where the water do come up, but most of the time, even on our street, when it do rain and you go out on the street, you go out and look, people have trash. They put trash over the drain. So when you go out and look, they have beds and everything stopping the water from receding. So that's one of the reasons why we a lot of times why the water does not recede. I mean, if you go look at your street during the rainstorms and go and look, you'll see most of the drains people covering up, and code enforcement needs to come through and do something about that.
All right, so I'll try to reach it back out to Elizabeth Phillips, but I believe her phone died on her. People, if you're out there, and
we're going to give her a few more minutes, and if not, we're going to switch over to our pop-up podcast.
And if she doesn't come back on, we had scheduled a pop-up podcast where we just talk about random things that's going on around the city, the county, and wherever, you know. So we're trying to give her some time to come back. We do know
because I know
things like that happen
yeah,
all the time. When you're on podcast interviews, they might be in a bad area, you know, you're driving or whatever, and you know, and the connection goes out. So it happens all the time, you know. So it's just the world we live in.
And she was giving good information.
She was giving us a lot of good information.
Some good information on the insurance industry as being a black-owned company. Now, as former Pompano Beach Commissioner Ed Phillips' daughter, and we all know Ed Phillips. He's a good man. He always see me and my brother. Sometimes he comes to events at our church, and he always come by the booth and holler at me and my brother at the music booth. He always come with music video technology booth. He always come over there and holler at us. So yes, I would love to get Miss Elizabeth Phillips back on. She does a lot of things.
She's a real estate, social work. They work with social workers. They provide jobs to people that need help people find jobs.
Yeah.
And they also try to help convicted felons find jobs and a lot of things. So let's see here.
Yeah, so we're trying to get, if you're just joining us not right now, we were joined by Elizabeth Phillips, and she is the daughter of Ed Phillips, and her family they have a black-owned family that sells insurance. So we're hoping to get her back. She was dropping some beautiful gems on us about the insurance business, and she was just getting ready to tell us ways that you can cut down on some of your thing on your homeowner's policy. So stick with us. If not, we're gonna go on over. We're gonna give her a few more minutes. If not, we're gonna go over to our pop-up podcast, and anyone is welcome to call in on our pop-up podcast. The number will be on the ticker on our pop-up podcast. So you're welcome to call in and talk about anything. I see Newbie News. He's talking about BSO. If y'all want to talk about BSO, you're welcome to call in on the pop-up podcast and talk about BSO. But we're gonna learn a lot about BSO here in the next few months. So we also got news. We were at the budget hearings last week, and so we're gonna talk about that on the pop-up podcast. So like I say, we're going to try to give Miss Phillips a few more minutes. And if not, then everyone gravitate on over, come back with us to our pop-up podcast on the Adams Brothers podcast.
All right. Like I say, well, it doesn't look like Elizabeth is going to be able to join us back again. So we'll schedule her for another date. We're going to end this podcast right here, and we'll be back momentarily with a pop-up podcast. So don't you all go anywhere. We will be
Stay with us
right
for about
back
3 to 4 minutes. We'll be right
with the
back with
pop-up
our pop-up
podcast.
podcast.
See you all in a little bit.